Hello, everybody. Oh, this is a different look. I'm used to that.
I got a cuke.
You got a cuke. Tell them, Anthony. Where's the cuke from?
It's from the Walker residence.
That's right.
The garden of the Walker residence.
That's right.
But
It's a yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, what type of cucumber is it?
It's actually called a Raider cucumber. My mom and I got them on Mother's Day, actually. She wanted to do some vegetables this year, and she's actually harvested some cucumbers. Mine just have really taken off, and everything you see on the table here is fresh from my garden. I really picked today. This was yesterday. The zucchini was today. The San Marzano. It's not a real San Marzano tomato because it wasn't grown
In the
in the San Marzano region. I'm not that crazy. I would not import it. It would cost way too much. I looked into it. It was grown in the Danbury, Connecticut soil, so it's San Marzano style. I'm one of them. But it's a pear tomato, and it's yummy. It's great for sauce. So anyway, and you're enjoying one live on air. I'm glad you are enjoying it. It's really tasty, right?
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them.
Like, and
No, it's really good.
And it's not the fact that I grew them well. It's just how they come out. Mm-hmm. I mean, I took good care of them, but they're just really yummy, and that's why
delicious.
they're popular. That's Hollandia Nursery I got them at. So we got them when they were.
There you go.
She got them when they were seedlings. Anyway.
One thing I do want to cut in.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a massive elephant in the room because we missed a week last week. Chris, I don't know if it's the timing now or if we're gonna bump it down a little later, but you'd like to.
The kid.
Yeah, casually.
Yes, it was actually last Wednesday, so it was fitting that we didn't have an episode last week.
About an hour before pod time.
Yeah, 6:33 p.m. to be exact. It was a beautiful entry, I have to say. As an analyst, right? If I may, it was a beautiful entry because of the fact that he came during the waking time. So Sabrina came at 2:56 in the morning. That is not the waking time. That's the middle of the night. In fact, I call that the witching hour because Sabrina was born during it. Get it? She's our little witch. Figuratively and literally. I love you, Sassy. I don't know why I pointed up. She's asleep, in bed, alive. And so too. Can you tell I'm just happy to be back?
Happy to be back and sleep deprived, I think, a little bit.
I'll tell you what. First of all, his name is Hardin William Walker. Sorry, Mom. You still love him. He sleeps and poops and eats. That's all he does.
Same.
Yeah, honestly.
That's literally all he does. Do you poop 8 times a day?
Not that much.
Okay, well, Hardin does. Anyway, he has let us sleep. And I have the best wife who understands that I have to, that Sabrina is my job now. I love her. She's my daughter, but that's a big job. When you've got a newborn and you're just chilling and then you have the toddler, that she consistently tells me that I have it way harder than she does. But to be honest with you, she had to push the baby out. And now, and like, if I had to take care of the baby by myself, I would be lost. Just know that. And she just knows exactly what to do. So to me, that's harder than having Sabrina because I've had Sabrina for almost 3 years.
Moms are awesome, dude. That's true.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, she just knows. And with Sabrina, too. But, like, especially with Hardin, she really just knew what to do right away. They handed him to her, and she was just like, cry. And then he cried. But, like, she just knew. She just is, like, brilliant with that. So, yeah, I had a child. My wife had a child. I'm very sensitive about that because I didn't have the child.
Both
I
had
just
the child.
watched. I was just an observer. And I was cracking jokes. You know what? I have to say the first thing that the nurses, or the nurse, I think it was the nurse, yeah, or the doctor, whatever, asked after the baby came was, Dad, how are you? Like, how are you feeling? And I said, I'm fine. I love this stuff. Like, this is awesome. I just watched the baby get born. Like, this is science. This is my job. I'm a science teacher. Like, this is my element. And she was like, we just asked because a lot of dads pass out. A lot of dads don't like to see, you know, the whole process. I will not go into detail about on the air. You must experience it yourself to know what I'm talking about. But I was like, no, this is awesome. Show me what you did.
I'd like to tell Anthony something.
Yeah.
I think this was the first time I saw Chris after the baby came out. And the first thing he does is not show me the baby, but shows me the placenta.
So I'm in the boat where I'd be like, dude, that's sick. Like,
Nah,
I've
bro,
seen a
you guys
baby.
are
I've
so
never
Can
seen
we
a
really,
weird.
though?
You
Never
guys
seen a
are so
placenta.
weird, bro.
But
That
seriously,
thing is nasty, man.
no.
cool, though.
Why do you wanna
awesome. And
see
the
that,
reason why
bro?
it's cool is because the baby's growing in
Yeah.
there for 10 months. That's an organ. It's a temporary
All right.
organ.
Yeah.
How sick is that? It grows with the baby.
All right.
It gives the baby
Life,
life.
nutrients.
Hey, Mr.
yes.
Organ, I'm an organ donor, and if I die in a car accident, you can go to my surgery when they open me up and cut me out. I hope you take pictures of my intestines and whatnot.
I would.
Okay, thank you.
You know, to relax at night if I can't sleep.
No.
There's a show. Nope.
No.
There's a show on YouTube. It was a BBC show. It's called Inside Nature's Giants. They do autopsies on animals. I used to
Awesome.
watch it right before I went to sleep. Still do it sometimes.
That's pretty
You guys
cool.
are so weird.
Yeah, but it's
man.
it's not.
Holy.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that's just nature. We're part of nature.
It's weird. You can enjoy observing without being weird and taking a picture.
I asked Dr. Jack now, who delivered my child, to explain to me why it looked the way it did, because I saw it before when Sabrina was born, but it was 3 a.m. and I was a first-time dad, and I saw it, and I was like, this is really cool. Now I need to go to bed, but I couldn't because I now had a child, and it was during COVID, so they didn't have the nursery open. That was a whole different story. But this was really cool because it was still daytime. I was really into it. And she explained, she was fantastic. She explained exactly how it takes the blood from the mom and filters it, cleans it. It's like a body. It's like a ventilator.
It's so cool.
It's a filter, if you will, for the baby to get everything the baby needs from the moment of that it's formed to the moment the baby's born. Not until like 3 weeks before, until seconds before you see the baby.
Isn't it till after, technically?
You know what? You're right, because when you cut the cord, the umbilical
That's when
cord
it
is
ends,
connected to the
yes.
placenta. That's the vector, if you will, the delivery method of all of the nutrients in blood. So you're right. It is after, and you still see it. It's still pulsing because it's still like breathing.
If there's ever a next time, why don't you just ask to cut the umbilical cord?
I did.
Oh,
They asked me. That's normal.
dude, you're a deluge.
That's normal.
Why is that bad?
That's so weird. I don't want to touch that.
They ask you, Dad, do you want to cut the cord? It's like a ceremonial thing.
On God, like on God.
Swear to God.
No, I'm not asking a question. I'm on God. If they ask me that question, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say something crazy. Honestly,
They told me that people, and I asked the question because, again, I'm interested. I'm a science teacher, okay? So I asked the question, do people ask to take the placenta home? Because people eat it. People.
what
and then,
are you saying, bro?
I swear to God.
Eat it.
Yes.
On this episode of
I'm
Nikki
actually about
Tries
to eat
Stuff.
it.
We have the placenta. No.
I'm about to walk out on God, bro.
No.
These guys are crazy.
It's in a refrigerated. It's in an igloo. It's in an igloo.
Nah. Y'all are crazy. Talking about taking a placenta home. What?
I swear to God.
Who's eating
So,
placenta?
There are people, and they say they honor the patient and the parents' wishes, but it's very strange. They say it's medical waste, and that's just it.
I cannot believe you didn't take it.
Well, somebody else, the nurse said that somebody in their family actually took it home and they planted it in their garden because it's got a high concentration of nutrients.
It's a placenta cuke I'm chewing on.
yeah.
Oh no, yours might be dead groundhog puke. It's not.
I haven't even tried it, and I never will. But I already know my number one draft pick is. Oh
That's
God,
a-
that's
that's
some
a-
crazy stuff.
That's a bit strange, but I asked because I've heard that it was a thing, and it really is. But anyway, there's your 10 minutes of. I think that was fine. Of vamping about my new baby and the process. I did want to shout out. All the nurses were great. Tina was great. It was the first night that Tina was the nurse, so I was very tired, and she came in a lot, and she had to check on Melissa, every couple of hours. So I was like, Tina, get out. Tina was fantastic. But the nurses we had day 2, Sarah was our nurse day 2, and Lisa, she put Lisa with us because they're really good friends, and she's like, you need these are two of the most fun people I've ever met in my life. I'm serious. And then Sarah put herself on for us the day we went home. Like, we knew that from the mid-afternoon Thursday to Friday afternoon when we went home for those 24 hours, like, it was like floating on a cloud because they would come into the room when one of them would come in, and they would sit down. There were 2 chairs and then the beds. They'd sit down, and we would just talk. Cindy, my mother-in-law, made blueberry muffins for us. Like, I gave one to each of them, and they were like, you need to eat this right now. It's that good, because it was with the fresh blueberries they just picked. It was like being home. Like, it was being with friends. It was really cool. So shout out to those 2. They should be recognized. So now they're on the pod. Yeah.
Official. Shout out.
Anyway, yeah, it's draft day today, and I think that's fair. I wasn't cooking. I haven't really cooked anything in a week. It's not really much time for that with everything going on with the baby.
I wasn't given enough of a notice, so it's draft day.
It's draft day. That was a very backhanded comment you made to me.
No.
No,
No,
Yo,
I didn't. We didn't even bring up the pod until today. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
And that was very good of Anthony and everybody. Like, just get you weren't gonna be like on Saturday. So we're going Wednesday? I don't know. Let's find out Wednesday.
Yeah.
I said I have to ask Melissa today.
Listen, because if she called and she was like, "Hey, no, absolutely not. I need you," then we're not going to do it.
No.
We should do another cook-off at some point.
What do you mean another?
That's in the vault. That's behind the paywall.
I need another trophy for my my desk.
All right, we'll do a cook-off. We could do like a nice, easy thing. We'll see. We'll talk about it. But today is our draft day, and we have another. I think this is going to be heavily contested, and it's the worst food ever draft. Yes.
Now, let me preface. Are we looking like, is this like a meal we've had that's bad or just the worst thing?
Things that you've eaten.
Thank God.
Things that you've eaten
Yeah.
that you think are the worst food ever.
Oh, I'm done. Got it.
And
Same.
so the best part for me is that somewhere on this list, we can't take each other's. If you take one, then it's gone.
Correct.
Okay, it's
So
gone.
we're going to be fighting over that number 1 pick.
There's one that I have that Melissa absolutely loves. And that's why I'm excited about this, is because what somebody thinks is the worst, somebody might think it's the best. And yeah, and there's no parameters really. It's food. It could be whatever food. It doesn't have to be like a chocolate chip when we're doing like a chip draft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a Funyun. But anyway, that's it. That's my shot. I got it in. Now I'm done. I'm invoking my new dad card. I'm exempt from this one. I've said that a lot this week. I'm invoking my new dad card. I invoked it when I asked Nick to get me chicken breasts today. But anyhow, I say youngest to oldest. I'm the old fart, so I'll go last. Yeah?
Sure.
Snake style.
Snake style.
Let's get it popping.
Okie doke.
3 picks. Nick.
Easy, quick, gnocchi.
Is that really?
No question asked.
That's the worst thing you've ever eaten.
Easily. No question asked.
No.
I swear to God. No. Because, okay, I was thinking hard about this all day today while I was at work. I had 4.5 hours to decide what was the worst thing I've tried. And I was thinking in my mind, if you put all these 5 that I had in my head in front of me, which is the last one I would want to take a bite of? And it would be the gnocchi.
It was really.
It was
bad.
that traumatizing.
Dude, the
It
texture
was a
is
texture
so
thing?
bad, but also it just like stuck to my teeth and my gums. Like it was pasty.
Where's it from? Bambinos?
Yeah, it was pasty. And
Well.
it just like the taste lingered in my mouth, bro. I don't even like to think about it.
Well,
honestly.
garlic knots aren't on my list
No.
because
That would be on my best. Oh,
Oh,
God.
100%. 100%. Anyway, gnocchi.
Gnocchi, number 1.
I had a suspicion
I
that
thought
would make
I
the
thought
list.
it was going to be on the list. I didn't think it would be the number one.
I had to think about which one I would last eat.
Okay, that's fair.
I did.
I like it.
All right,
See, I love gnocchi.
mine is sitting right in front of me. It's the tomatoes.
That's scandalous.
It's scandalous. Listen. Looking at the camera, I love sauce. I love tomato soup.
And that's what this tomato's used for, okay?
I like-
you don't just bite this one.
I like ketchup. If you gave me a raw tomato or a cooked tomato that wasn't in a pico de gallo or anything like that, I don't get it away from me.
So you won't eat, like, stewed tomatoes?
No.
So when you
Really?
have a hamburger, you don't have tomatoes on it.
Get it out of there.
I've
It
thrown.
ruins.
Do you know how many tomatoes are strewn across the highway
Disgusting.
from me just eating gas station sandwiches
Disgusting.
and just frisbeeing tomatoes out of my window?
Those beefsteak tomatoes, get them
Yeah.
off the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Get them. You know where they're the worst? Oh, boy. You know where they're the absolute worst, Anthony? Is in a buffalo wrap.
Oh yeah,
Get it out of
there's
there.
There's no place.
What about a BLT?
They're
BLTs are fraud
BL.
sandwiches.
BL.
BLM. Well,
Wrong show.
mayo,
And
not
I
matter.
support everybody. Listen, on the buffalo sandwiches that Melissa always gets, she's like, I got a buffalo wrap. Do you want to have a bite? And I'm like,
just
where's the
don't- it
tomato?
doesn't belong.
She's like, there's tomatoes in it. And I'm like, all right, I'll take one out. There's another one.
And
Or the sauce just tastes of watery
The
tomato.
I don't know.
terrible.
I don't know if it's a texture thing or a taste thing. I think it's a combination. We've talked about this before because the cherry tomatoes, they burst like grapes. I like grapes. I don't like tomatoes. Tomatoes, they're the worst thing on planet Earth.
I've never had a raw tomato.
Really?
You're not. See, so Grammy did not like cooked tomatoes. She only liked raw. She didn't like sauce, ketchup, or any of that. She only liked raw tomatoes. So it's like a very love-hate thing.
You know what's really funny about me and ketchup? I can eat ketchup unless I smell it before I eat it the first time.
All right.
If
now-
I-
With
yeah, the
something.
touch is now coming out. You
Yeah,
were
there's
fine with
one
the
of his
tomato.
things.
You were fine with the tomato.
If I smell the ketchup before I get a chance to like dip my fry in it, I'm toast. I don't like the smell of ketchup. It's disgusting.
What is wrong with you?
Don't open that door. The tomato.
Chris,
Next.
I'm interested where you're going.
I like sauce too much to have put it on the list, but I respect it. It's not good fresh. Fresh, it's up there. Okay. This is this is gonna get a disagreement out of Anthony, and I'll tell you. When I thought of this, it's because I was thinking of one thing in particular. Okay? The others I had to think about, but I was thinking of one thing in particular when I came up with the idea for the worst food ever draft. I was thinking because yesterday, the 23rd, was Grammy's birthday. This is something that Grammy made all the time. Well, she made it every year, I should say. It only came around once a year. But when it came around, it was awful. I helped her make it. I helped her cut the ingredients. I helped her mix it. I helped her mush it. I helped her everything it. And I hated it because it smells and tastes like throw up. Stuffing
I knew
is
that's
the
what it
worst
was.
food
I knew that's
ever.
what it was.
Bread stuffing
I knew that
is
too.
the worst food ever. As many times as I've made it myself, as many times as I've helped Grammy cut the bread and cut the vegetables, it starts off so promising.
It does. I
starts
agree
off
with that.
So do I.
with bread, which is fine, and then the mirepoix of vegetables, which is so delightful when you have it cooking in all that butter. It's like the one time when you just throw all the butter in and cook the vegetables and it's like deep frying in butter. It smells so good in the house, and then something happens. Something occurs when you mix the bread and the vegetables and
Well,
the chicken stock.
so what's funny is the fact that he's gagging right now. We had a Friendsgiving where we made Grammy's stuffing, and the whole time we're making it, him and I are making it together. The whole time he's doing it, he's going, it smells just like Grammy, and he's tearing up. I swear to God, he's tearing up, and he's going, and then he's like tasting it. He's like, oh, it's just like hers.
It sucks.
like,
It
oh my
sucked. I was like, it's just like, it's just. I don't know, and everybody's crazy about it. Everybody goes so nuts for that particular stuffing, and I'm just like, no, it's terrible. It's all bad. The stove top, the homemade, get them out of
So
here.
for my gunner Thanksgiving when I worked for them, I was in charge of the stuffing because they trusted me with that, and I made it, and it was like crispy. So there was no. I did what you're supposed to do, but there was no water. It was very dry. I used fresh bread, stale. It was great. So I'll have to make you that to try to sway you a little bit, maybe get it down the list. But
Let me tell you
I
something.
get it.
I think I would try the stuffing before it enters the turkey. But that's kind of what turns me off about the stuffing. Is
I
once
think
it
it's bad
enters
no
the
matter where it
turkey,
is.
So
I don't want it in the turkey.
did you guys ever like at your Thanksgivings? Did you have the turkey stuffing and then just like a bowl on the side?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you had technically stuffing and dressing, but different story. No,
all
I'm just
terrible.
no, I'm just saying like that's what people are gonna say about it.
Horrible.
But see, I think I told you this. We were a red stuffing family.
Yes, you were.
Not good. Heartburn thinking about it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. All right, you ready for my number 2?
Yep. Of
course.
This is another polarizer. Okay, a lot of kids grew up with this. Maybe I even ate it as a kid. I don't know why I would have done such a thing. It was a pregnancy staple in my house, and it's SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs are my number 2 worst food ever. Again, it smells like vomit in a different way. It smells like it's snowing outside. What? It's like it's snowing outside and you have the stomach virus.
Okay, you know what? I'm following.
It smells like that vomit.
I've caught the
What?
scent. I've caught
like
the scent.
the vomit when it's like cold outside and you can't even go outside, and it's like maybe going to be a snow day the next day,
Oh, it's
and
like
you're
acidic.
vomiting.
It's like acidic, tingy vomit.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
tinge is the
catching.
word.
That's what I was
Tinge with
catching.
acid. Yes,
That's
Anthony.
exactly what I was
Thank you
catching.
for that.
That's exactly what
I'm
I
talking
gathered.
about. Yes. Thank you. And
No,
that's
that was
why
a
I don't like it.
Great description.
That was a good one.
I painted the picture for
You
them. that
painted a
time.
great picture.
You teed it up and I hit it out of the park.
That's right. Very nicely done. Yeah, SpaghettiOs. Nick, I would never make you try SpaghettiOs. They're trash.
Yeah, they seem it, honestly.
Melissa loves SpaghettiOs.
I never liked them. I never disliked them. If they were there, I'd be like, oh, yeah, cool.
She loves them, and she asked me to make them, especially early on in her pregnancy with Hardin.
At least she's not a ravioli gal. The SpaghettiOs ravioli, those are rough.
She liked the beefaroni, which is also horrible, but I've never tried it. So
So it looks like a Chef Boyardee sponsors, not in our carts.
no. All right, Anthony, your number 2 worst food
All
ever.
right, so my number 2, and I can be swayed on this. I'm only saying this because of one ingredient. My mother made this a lot when I was a kid. My dad also doesn't like it, which is kind of weird. I am extremely anti-beef stew. Because one vegetable ruined it for me. My mother overdid it one time, and every time I eat beef stew, I think of this. This is, yes, it's technically a beef stew choice here, but it is by way of the parsnip. I hate parsnips. Can't stand
They
them.
put them in there.
I don't know. My mom did some weird stuff. Put a parsnip in a beef stew. It was just too much for me, and no. So like that's why I said, I can be swayed. If you get me a nice hearty beef stew,
No.
I'll try it.
Grandma's beef stew was the best.
I'll try it, but that's for me tough.
You know what? You would love it. You would have
Maybe.
you would love beef stew. So this winter, late fall winter, when I make Grammys
We'll have to
or
do an
whatever I
episode.
find is closest to Grammys, because I never truly found her exact recipe. It's a must try. I've never made it with a parsnip. There's carrots in there, which belong in a stew. There's onions. There's celery. There's potatoes. Big. They're bigger. And then, of course, the beef, which cooks slow. I know you'd like that. It's very tasty. You can put little red wine in the sauce or not, however you want to make it. Well, that's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
With a parsnip, I don't know. I don't know if it would make me hate it, but I've never had one with a parsnip.
So it's one of those scenarios where like one thing triggers like that. So it's like every time I eat stew, no matter what, I think of the time I ate too much. So there's like I have a weird story. This is tangent. I can't have.
This is what we do on a podcast.
I can't have tuna fish. I can't have tuna fish with mayo with black pepper in it, and it can't be like coarse. If I have to put pepper in it, it has to be like the shaker pepper.
The fine
because
ground.
when I was teenager, I guess preteen, I made it and I put black pepper in it and I used like the pepper grinder, and it was plastic and it broke. So all of the peppercorns like fell into the tuna as it was mixing. So like there were just full raw peppercorns just mixed in the tuna, and I didn't realize it because I was stupid and a child. So I would bite into it and it's like a full peppercorn just in my. It was horrible, horrible.
I get it.
And
I get it.
That is alluding to my next pick, which I know is going to be safe. So it's not
right.
tuna fish, but go ahead.
All right, Nikki.
There's 4 foods in my life that I have had to spit out.
Gnocchi's one of them.
Gnocchi is one of them.
I made him one of them.
And I have to leave one off because if push came to shove, I would eat it. This one is one that nobody in this room would ever think of, but I remember specifically when I was like 10 or 11. It was forced into me, and I wasn't happy about it. And this one is fluff. Fluff
I love
is
fluff.
the
Terrible.
most disgusting thing I have ever eaten
Terrible.
in my life,
Hold on.
other than gnocchi, of course.
Terrible. Fluff sucks.
And then let me tell you something,
Mom
Anthony,
loves
before
it. Mom
you try to
loves
do
fluff.
something, I got scarred because I thought I was eating a peanut butter sandwich,
sucks.
but my mom thought it would be fun to make me try fluff by sneaking it onto the sandwich
Sucks.
That
that
is
she made
devious.
for me.
That's devious.
And when
Tish,
I
love
bit-
it.
Dastardly.
And when I bit into that thing, I didn't taste peanut butter and I didn't taste bread. I had a mouthful of
of
disgusting.
marshmarshmallow.
So
Horrible.
we
Horrible.
can, we
and
can
we know
post
how
this.
I feel about marshmallows.
We can
Yes.
post this. We talk a lot about Grammy. 2 days ago, so it would be the 22nd of July, was 16 years my grandfather had passed. And it's funny that we mentioned fluff because we'll post this, but this is one of my favorite pictures.
Is that you?
It's me and it's me with the fluff.
Oh, Maron.
Yeah, he let us sneak a spoonful.
Sneak
before
it.
our
You go in
yeah.
the jar with the
Yeah,
spoon.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he let us sneak it.
That is a very cute
It's a good
picture. But
picture.
listen,
Adorable.
listen,
Look at him.
Anthony,
How
it's
handsome.
not going to make me change my mind.
Oh no, I know. I just thought it was funny that was brought up.
That ish is garb.
So let me now get in here. Have you seen the TikTok trends with fluff?
No.
They're called fluffy cokes.
What? You mix cocaine with fluff?
No,
No, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper.
I know. I figured.
And I can't lie, Jules and I tried it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. man.
Delicious.
What's wrong with you?
It was.
This is water.
Help him.
This
It
is
was
water.
so
Help
good.
him.
It was so good. Because
I can't help him.
you take the Coke Zero or the Diet Coke or whatever you do, because you don't want to use regular, because that's just DKA right there. So
Yeah, just diet the Coke.
you
That'll
just-
make it
you
better.
go with Diet
Why
Coke.
don't you go move to like Alabama?
You go with a
and
little bit
drink
of
milk.
You go with a
Coke
little bit
them?
of fluff, and you just mix it up. It was like it made it creamier. It was actually good.
You're delusional.
I think you're Delulu. I think fluff is terrible. Melissa loves fluff. Mom loves
So
fluff.
is Melissa
Mom goes nuts about the fluff.
is Melissa also? Yes, I know this. I don't know why I'm asking. She loves Peeps too, right?
Yes, she likes
Those are
awful
the
Peeps.
worst candy in the world. I hate those.
But you
Awful.
like fluff. What's wrong with you?
I think it's a texture.
You're backwards.
Awful.
Oh, does this mean I'm up again? All right. For my last pick, I'm going to tell you what I had to choose between out of these two. I had to choose between pickles, and I had to.
I love pickles.
and the
Those
other
are so good.
and the other option was hot dogs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And when faced with the situation of putting a hot dog or a pickle in front of
I
me,
love him.
I had to say that I would rather put the pickle in my mouth. So hot dog is my number 3.
Pause.
Yeah. Hard pause. No Diddy.
Last time I've tried a hot dog 4 times in my life. 3 times they were Dad's hot dogs, and
If you don't like dads, then you don't like hot
and
dogs.
the other time was a pig in a blanket, like a freezer thing.
And if you don't like pigs, then you don't like hot. Then that's fair. You've tried it enough.
So
Yeah,
the,
that's
so
enough.
the, yeah. So the last time was a pig in a blanket, and I snuck it when everyone was at our house that one time in the kitchen in case I didn't like it, so nobody would see. When I tell you, bro, I actually almost yacked,
With the
like
puff
straight up.
pastry.
Oh my god, that was the worst.
So
You
what
One of
gotta
the
don't
worst
dip it in
things.
a little stone
I-
ground mustard.
I
you
dipped
need
it in
the
catch.
spicy.
What?
I dipped it in catch.
Did you smell the
No.
catch first?
What?
Shut
Did
up.
you smell the catch
You
first?
smell the
What's
ketchup
wrong?
first. I think with mustard is better. Ketchup doesn't belong on a pig in a blanket. But
So-
anyway,
So what don't you like about the hot dogs? Is it the tube meat
Texture
factor?
and taste. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you're not
it's really the
missing
tube
anything.
meat.
They're very bad for you.
Oh, they're
It's
horrible.
really
they're
the
just
tube
they're
meat,
just
yeah.
asses and snouts.
It's just
Everybody
like,
knows
you
this.
bite into it and it kind of like snaps, bro. Like,
That's the best part.
that's disgusting.
Dude, the Hummel natural casing, just snapping it off.
They're
dude.
just what?
snouts and asses. Everybody. You've never
You
heard that?
slid that in so fast.
You've never.
that they didn't even hear you.
Yeah, everybody knows hot dogs are all snouts and asses. It's just waste parts of the pig. But still,
Oh,
That's disgusting.
yeah, it's not.
And that's
it's-
why I'm not gonna eat it.
God.
But
You're
you-
not missing anything.
You bite into a Hummel natural casing and you get that good snap.
Oh, that's
If you
so
want a
gross.
cheap one, you get the Hebrew Nats. Ooh.
No, I was
we
expecting.
make the ballpark,
Ballpark
but they used to
Franks.
be first prize. First prize used to be the ones that Mom used to get. I'll tell you what. If you don't like it when Dad makes it, then you won't like any other hot dog because he makes them better than than anybody I've ever tried it. Especially he chars the you know what out of them.
Dude, that's why I've tried it 3 times
Oh
because it
my
looks
God.
good and it
It's
smells
so
good.
delicious.
So now let me
Not boiled.
bring this. Yeah, never boiled. Let me ask you now. Would you try? They're called. We'll have to make these. We'll make you try one. They're called New York Systems Wieners.
No,
So you don't even know what it is.
it's called a wiener.
That's just the name of it. So it's a. It's
Yeah, but
a-
that means it's like a long hot dog.
No, it's not. It's just a
probably.
regular hot dog. But the way you make it, you make like a chili with it, and then it's like a chili dog with raw onion and mustard, and it's really good. They're like a Rhode Island staple.
It wouldn't happen. Really? It really wouldn't. But you know what? My honorable mention, pickle. Those things are gross. I refuse to eat anything with pickle on it.
So why don't you like pickles?
They're gross. They just taste gross.
Have you? Well, okay.
You
I'm
know,
growing pickling cucumbers at home for my second round of. I'm in very deep with the gardening this year, people, and
We're doing
these
it.
are much. These are way too big.
We're
to
doing
pickle.
we're doing a pickle episode.
Oh yeah, I've done
well,
pickling
you
with
got.
Grammy
there,
before.
you know, there was the pickle festival in Danbury.
All right, I'm not crazy about pickles. I
Well,
just
I'm
like
crazy
pickles.
about
Women are
pickles.
crazy about pickles.
I like pickles.
Yeah.
A lot of women like pickles, especially pregnant women. It's like a known thing. I mean, I like my cucumbers better than pickles. I think and pickles are very salty.
They're gross.
Very salty.
If you put it on a Chick-fil-A sandwich and I have to take it off, I'm still not eating the sandwich because the bun is now soaked in pickle juice and it's disgusting.
So are you anti pickle juice?
Yes.
So you need to stop eating Chick-fil-A altogether.
Pickle juice.
Every
Yeah,
piece,
yeah,
every
yeah.
piece
I
of their
know,
every
I
piece.
I
know.
made the homemade Chick-fil-A
have I.
sandwich. They
They're
come
really
out very good.
Air fryer.
No, I did them in the skillet, and I kind of deep fried a little bit.
Air fryer, come on. Really
I'm
good.
anti a mushy bun soaked in pickle juice. I'm not anti
That's
a little
fair.
pickle juice on a spicy sandwich where I can only taste the spice and
That's
not the
fair.
pickle juice.
That's fair.
All right, Anthony, your last one
All
here
right.
than mine.
My last pick. It's not technically a food. It is a spice.
He's always with these,
Yeah, he's still finding a way.
What?
always bending the rules. Do you eat it?
Yes.
So that's a food.
Okay.
Anyway, ice is a food too. Continue.
Okay. Number 3 for Anthony. It's classified as a group of spices. Anything in the anise family or cloves. I'm going to say cloves. Nikki, yes.
This is an important question. I, honest to God, always thought it was pronounced anise.
It's either way. It's
You
either
can
or.
pronounce it either way.
Okay.
Yeah. But like for
I'm pretty sure anise is the right way to say
so
it.
we drink anisette.
The anisette cookies. Star anise.
Star anise. Yeah.
You could say it either way.
Anyway, anything that's like earthy and clovey and tastes like tree bark, I'm out of it. Again, this
is like the licoricey
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
anything licoricey, I'm not a
Anise.
fan of.
Ooh, licorice is trash.
Anise is the licorice.
So like
taste.
I can't like I won't drink espresso with sambuca because it has that taste. I can't do it.
Grammy used to have Sambuca, and she used to use it in the anisette balls. for
Anytime
Christmas.
I was gonna say, anytime you do we just called them Italian cookies. Anytime you do those with a little frosting on them, they would do the anisette in the frosting, and it was just not good. It was disgusting. I hated them. But the reason I don't like cloves is there's a Greek cookie. It's escaping me right now. It's a shortbread cookie with just powdered sugar on it. It's very good. They're very plain, but they're very good. And the Greek tradition is for every batch you make, every 12 or so, you put a clove into one of them. Now you're supposed to put the clove in, and then you break these cookies open in the middle, and then you can see the clove. Whoever gets the clove, they get good luck.
You did not do that.
I did not break the cookie open.
That's a good way to hate cloves.
I was at school. It was my second day at WestCon ever. I was very homesick. It was me and Liam. We were just hanging out, and I had cookies because for my going away dinner, my great grandmother made them for me because she knows I like them. She never, ever, ever put cloves in them, so I had no reason to check. She put cloves in them this time, and I got the one with the clove in it. So I went to go bite it, and as I bit into it, I just ground a whole clove in my teeth, and it was one of the worst things. I was
That's a lot.
it was bad. It was
Nick,
it was horrid.
For context, because I know you're not a chef. For context, if you put a clove into something and bake it,
Okay.
the whole thing's going to taste like clove.
Got it.
And a clove is small.
Yeah.
They're tiny.
One clove in a cookie makes the whole cookie and maybe the ones around it taste like clove because when you cook it, the aroma infuses in stuff. So that's why you put them on top of like a ham
So
or something when you cook it for Christmas. It infuses the flavor. So if you bite one, it's like bam! It's way too much.
So you had, when we had the Ugandan food, you ate that, right?
Yeah.
That thing that went bam as soon as you ate the meat, that was clove. So that is the taste.
and
now
there is a very small amount of
now
clove
think
in that.
of that just times 10,000. It was all I
rough.
tasted. It was tough.
That's a rough
So
thing.
cloves for me they're no-goes. That's why I stay out of a lot of Asian cuisine because it's very 5-spice, very clove heavy, and I'm just not ready for that yet.
You might get ready for it one day, but not today. That's fair. I could have gone with caviar. I've only had it once.
Never had it.
I've only tried it once and it was expired.
That would probably be my least favorite if I've ever tried it.
It was so bad, but I think it was expired.
Did
So
you
I'm
eat
not
it
gonna...
off of a spoon, like a metal spoon, or did you actually use bone or wood like you're supposed to?
Bone?
Yeah.
I didn't use bone. It was off a metal spoon.
Yeah, that's also why it probably tasted bad.
I don't care. It tasted rotten because it was 3 years expired. Anyway, I can't be on the list because it was expired, and I think it
You
was.
have to give it another chance.
I think it was past its prime. I don't ever.
And you need
to.
a bone. You need a bone.
Right, I need a bone to eat it off of.
Okay, this is a common
I
thing.
need a cedar plank.
No, they make little bone spoons. Okay, continue. I can't.
Oh no, I'm gonna go way more simple, and it's just something that's very niggly, very
Whoa.
annoying. What?
Never mind.
Niggly.
Continue.
It's annoying. Why is that bad? Jack Walker, the owner of this business, says that all the time. I didn't say a bad word.
You just got clipped, my boy.
Shut up. Nobody that listens to this will say that I said the wrong thing. Okay?
You didn't.
Everybody that really.
It's gonna go on TikTok though.
No, it's not. Okay. Something that's just an everyday nuisance. That,
Thank you.
Again, another thing that Melissa likes is raspberry jam. In fact, anything raspberry flavored is my third worst thing. Disgusting.
That's valid.
The thumbprint cookies at Christmas time. Disgusting. The jam that she puts in between her crackers and peanut butter. Disgusting. The little raspberry spreads that she puts on. A little biscuit sometimes. Disgusting.
Raspberry iced tea.
I didn't say no. I'm talking about physical raspberry stuff. Raspberries on their own are delicious.
Okay.
Anything raspberry flavored that you eat, not drink, that you eat. Disgust. Raspberry leaf tea, which I had a sip of. It's supposed to ripen the cervix to prepare for labor. So Melissa had that a lot as she was getting ready to give birth. It's a real thing.
No, I believe you.
Disgusting. Raspberry flavoring. The only place where it's acceptable is in the rainbow cookie. But when I make the rainbow cookies, I do strawberry. You can't even really tell the difference. But raspberry preserves, jelly, jam, it's usually jam. And jam and preserves have the seeds. The preserves have the seeds in them. Disgusting. Get it out of there. Goodbye.
That's why. Just not a fan.
I don't like it. I'll tell you what. One day, Grammy made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I had a big hiatus.
We're unpacking traumas here on
We
this
are,
episode of
we
Sports
are.
and Spaghetti.
Yeah, we both had a peanut butter sandwich, and it didn't end up well for us.
Yeah,
tuna sandwich.
she made me a peanut butter and jelly. And at this point, I was still eating peanut butter and jelly, so I couldn't have been that old. I was probably about 5 or 6. And she made me a peanut butter and jelly, and I bit into it, and I said, this is wrong. And there was raspberry jam in it. And I said, I'm done. I'm never eating jelly again. And I didn't eat another sandwich with jelly in it until a bus ride home from one of my high school hockey games. And I was just so hungry after I must have played
You must
that
have
game.
had the munchies.
No, I must have played that game. I must have played that game, idiot. I didn't even do that. I wasn't even one of those kids. Anyway, I must have been really hungry because I ate it. It was on white bread, and I didn't even grow up with white bread, and I still don't eat it. And it was so good. I was like,
Sometimes.
oh my God.
Yeah, sometimes they hit.
The
dude.
post game, I had 2. I got another one because they were extra. I was like, I'm going to have another one.
Sometimes the pre-games used to hit. I used to do that before baseball. Football, that's a good episode. Pre-game meals.
I was very strategic when I played. Still, when I play hockey, I have the same thing for lunch every day.
course
And
you
it's
do.
a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now it's come full circle. Anyway, there's your draft.
Top tier jelly. Which are you going grape or are you going strawberry?
The only jelly that belongs anywhere is grape, and
Yeah,
all the other
strawberry.
jellies suck.
I'll do strawberry uncrustable over a grape uncrustable.
Every other jelly is trash except for grape. Every single other one. But anyway, that's a
Peach
different
jelly?
episode. Why? Just eat a peach. Next. No. I like grape jelly because it doesn't taste like table grapes. It's Concord grapes.
Yeah.
43 minutes in, and why don't we get to some sports? No, that was good.
It's solid. Let me go one more food thing. Were you a white grape juice kid or a purple grape juice kid?
I tell you what, I was neither. I was cran grape.
Oh, God.
He was.
That's even
He was.
worse.
I didn't drink that.
Ocean Spray cran grape.
Yeah, I didn't drink that.
Not even that good. And to be honest with you, now if I have like a sip of it, it's very nostalgic because my dad would drink it a
You were
lot.
addicted to it, bro.
White,
We
all
had it
all I
the
was
time.
saying, and Eli is going to know exactly what I'm saying, so I'm looking at you, Eli.
White grape is good.
Any kid that grew up preferring white grape juice is a narc now. Absolute loser.
I love white grape. I like all grape juice.
Yeah, but if you prefer, if you're like, no, I need the mom Welch's white grape. That's what I need in the house. You're a narc.
Yeah, I don't
Elijah.
know about that. Elijah.
Does everyone know what a narc means? That listens to
Pirates
this
fans.
podcast?
Probably.
Freaking Pirates fans.
Anyway, we
There you
talked
go.
about some good things. We talked about some bad foods that we don't like. We're going to talk about the good, the
The
bad.
drafts always make me happy.
They're always good. They're always good
I
episodes.
always leave the draft episodes feeling
Smiling,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the eh. This is in no particular order.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, I'm prepared, even though I'm a new father again. This week, I'm not doing a good, a bad, and an eh. I'm doing 2 goods and a bad.
It's a good week.
All right. It was mostly good this week. I had a great week in my life. I have my child, and my wife is not miserable every second of the day. That's a pretty big deal. And I'm home. I'm home with my 2 kids and enjoying the rest of my summer. I'm really excited about it, to be honest. So the first good, and I wouldn't say this is less good, but it's less impactful, but it's still good. So today, this Wednesday, July 24th, the Colorado, now that tomato's nice and warm, you probably ripened it all the way. Good job, Nick.
I didn't know that's how you ripen things.
No. Well, heat is how they ripen,
Do I look like a gardener?
not sunlight. People think the sun is. Anyway, the Colorado Rockies scored 20 runs today against the Red Sox. So this is good for a couple of reasons. And I have to preface this. The next sentence I'm going to say was typed on this computer by Sabrina all by herself. Okay? I told her the letters to type and she did it. It makes it even better that it came against Boston. That was typed 100% by Sabrina Rose. I did the space bar and the capitals and period. But she typed all the letters. I wanted to give her credit where credit is due. She did that piece of work. So it tied a franchise high for Colorado in runs scored. And this is the shocking part and why I wanted to include it. The other team to score 20 runs in a game this season, do you guys know who it was?
It's Oakland.
It was Oakland, who are cellar mates with the Rockies at the bottom of their respective division standings. Good thing we didn't put the Yankee game on today. They suck right now. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah, so the Rockies scored 20 runs. Shout out to Dr. Devin McCormick and the McCormick family, big Rockies fans. They actually were at a Rockies game on their vacation last week. And I tell you what, I think it was Saturday or Friday it was when we were in the hospital having the baby that they sent the picture of the game. It was packed. It was packed at Coors Field. And I said, wow, that's a great attendance despite their record. They didn't like that comment. But Dev did not like that. But shout out to them. Pretty cool people. Pretty bad team, but 20 runs today. They're happy.
I mean, at least she has the At least she has the At least she has the She has the Nuggets. Isn't she not
the Avs are
Isn't
good.
she not a Nuggets fan either? No, she's a Nuggets fan, I think.
Yeah, she is. But she's an Avs fan. The Avs are pretty good.
Yeah.
The Avs are good, except Nichushkin is an issue, and that's her favorite player. So sorry, Deb. Anyhow, today, Pogacar.
Is that a Pokemon?
What?
I said, is that a Pokemon? I don't.
No. He won his 3rd Tour de France. I've decided to make this the second good and give the real grinder their due. He won his 3rd Tour de France, his first since 2021. He won both of the COVID years, and he wanted to win again to feel like validation that it wasn't just because maybe some of the other names weren't there in those 2 COVID years.
He could have just been hopped up on the Moderna, and that's
right.
and that's why.
Right. And so the Slovenian won his 3rd Tour de France, and the guy is just an exceptional bike rider, and there was really no doubt about him winning it this year.
There's something funny over there.
It's the way you said exceptional.
Cyclist. Sorry.
He's just an exceptional bike rider.
He is, and he's actually going to be missing this year's Olympics. So they're cycling in the Olympics, and it's awesome. And he will be missing it due to fatigue. I wonder why. I mean, the guy just won the Tour de France, so let's take it easy. It actually finished in Nice this year instead of on the Champs-Élysées, obviously, because the Olympics are happening right now. Actually, they're going on, even though the opening ceremony is not until Friday. We'll touch more on the Olympics later.
I think we skip over the next segment and just go right to Olympics.
I think we do with the
Time-wise.
time we've been going. Yeah, time-wise,
And we can always
do
do
the
that
trade
other one.
deadline next
Yeah.
week. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
You can
awesome.
cut that out
stuff.
if you want to.
No, it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's a podcast. It's not like we're on TV. We're just on YouTube. On YouTube.
Lunch.
All right.
Canceled.
Okay, shut up. So, the bad. This is a personal beef, okay? I have a personal beef with ESPN, okay? I worked for them. They were fine while I worked for them, but then they released this list of the top 100 athletes since 2000. Since the turn of the century, or the turn of the millennium, if I may. Some of these choices that were made were very questionable choices. So Sidney Crosby was on there at like 32, and I was like, you know what? That's a pretty good spot for him, I think. Yeah, that's fair, right?
I feel like he could be higher, honestly.
I think he could, but then when you see some of the other names that are among...
I mean, he's borderline the best NHL player since 2000.
So I want to preface before you get to what you're saying. I don't know if this list was based off of athletic talent or based off of impact they had or based off of skill or based off of achievements.
Right.
And that's where there's an issue.
There's a lot of tennis players in the top 20.
Yes.
A lot of tennis players. And so I don't think it was based on athleticism.
It must be like accomplishments then, if tennis players are that high.
Yeah. So
Well, the Williamses are both...
they're both on the list. Serena is number 3. I think she's 3. But it's like the top 5 is like Serena Williams, Tom Brady, LeBron James. Number one
Serena
was,
Williams is like bang.
Number 1 is Michael Phelps, which I agree with.
Yes.
Phelps belongs there because he's got the accolades. He's a
Yes.
superhuman,
Yeah.
and he has the media presence. He had the big bad marijuana controversy, like it's so bad. You know, all of that. Like he's pop culture now.
Yeah.
And his legacy is lasting.
I think he has his own strain of weed, actually.
I don't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised. But like, yeah, just his accomplishments paired with his athletic abilities, and it just nobody's ever going to be as good as him. I don't think.
So what's bad about this list?
I'm going to tell you. Alex Ovechkin is 54th on this list. Okay. I decided to go through the whole thing, and it took me about 10 minutes of
There's a
seeing.
lot.
It took me 10 minutes to see who he should replace without being too biased for hockey, because I took into account, all right, Crosby's 32 or 34 or wherever. Hockey and ESPN, even though it's on ESPN now, ESPN doesn't care about hockey like they care about basketball and other sports. I think Crosby could have been in the top 25, but he's not far out of it. But I saw Alex Rodriguez at number 43. And I was like, okay, why is he 43? But then I saw Derek Jeter at 53, right before Ovechkin. And I was like, Derek Jeter and Alex Ovechkin in the 50s? Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm not an Ovechkin lover, but I'm a Yankee fan. First of all, Jeter should have been higher, and people are going to be like, well, he's not overrated. What do you mean he's overrated? The dude was the Yankees.
That's why he's regarded with where he's regarded, because he's the Yankees. He was the most popular player at the most important position on the most popular team of the 90s. Right. That's the only reason. And he was great.
Right. I know. But Alex Rodriguez was higher than Derek Jeter.
I think he should have been.
You're out of your mind.
I was an A-Rod kid.
Yeah, but see, his legacy's very tainted.
So is Michael Phelps.
I don't think Phelps is very tainted.
I don't think it should be tainted at all, but it is. A-Rod was a PED user, but that still doesn't take away his athletic ability, and
I don't think he's higher than. Yeah, but we're talking about Alexander Ovechkin. We're not talking about Alex Galchenyuk. We're talking about Alex Ovechkin.
Now let's look at this with what I said before. If you're going accolades and like skill, it's Ovi any day of the week. If you're going athletic ability and physicality, athleticism, I would lean A-Rod. I mean, A-Rod was doing things. He was doing things at what, 19 in the major leagues. Like the guy was. People forget how good A-Rod was. They really do forget how A-Rod was. And before you do what you're going to do, because I saw it on your face, hockey players are built different.
I'm not talking about.
They're absolutely built different.
I'm not talking about how he's built.
I'm just no. I'm saying as athletes, they're built different. They're machines.
The guy scored 106 points in his rookie season. He had 52 goals and 54 assists. He was doing it at 18 too.
Okay, but like if we're looking at A-Rod stats, right?
Calder, All-Star. Art Ross. He won the Art Ross trophy. He was 6th in Hart voting.
If you're going accolade for accolade, right? A-Rod has 3 MVPs, 14-time All-Star. He has a World Series. He has a career WAR of 117.6, 696 home runs, a career batting average of almost 300. Like,
How many of those are tainted?
All right, ready? I'm gonna let's see.
everybody's were tainted in that era. though.
Let's compare.
Derek Jeter's
this
were
is not to
tainted?
argue.
Absolutely.
This is not to argue you. I just want to compare. So Alex Ovechkin was an 11-time All-Star, and he's still playing, obviously. I don't see him making an All-Star team, but anyway. 11-time All-Star. He won the Rookie of the Year in his rookie season. He won the Hart Trophy for top scorer 1, 2, 3 times. He won the Maurice Richard, the Rocket Richard Trophy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. And he is less than 40 goals away from Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal mark. So I think we're comparing two of the best players at their sport.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying replace A-Rod with Alex Ovechkin.
You're just saying it's a head scratcher.
I'm saying Ovechkin could be way higher than he is. I think Ovechkin should be in the 40s. That's why I took A-Rod, and I was like, maybe A-Rod could be lower than 43. But I mean, I don't think he has to be. I just think Ovechkin at 54 is not good.
So who's your GOAT of hockey in the 2000s?
Sidney Crosby.
Okay, so why is he at 32? Like, shouldn't he be top 10 or top 15 then?
If it were my list, yes.
Yeah, well, this is also the list. Nothing against women's sports. We know this. We love women's sports. We talk about it on this podcast all the time. This is a list that had, it was like, I'm pretty sure it had
Diana Taurasi.
That's what it was. It was Diana Taurasi was
All
above
right, it's
like
invalidated.
It was
It's
above.
invalidated.
Dude, it was-
Diana Taurasi was in the top 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She's above like.
You said what? The top what?
Yeah, she was over, dude. She's over like Kevin Garnett and like as
Now
athletes.
be nice. Be nice.
Chris. With all due respect, my friend.
Cindy, I'm not gonna poop all over the women's sports.
I'm not
fans.
pooping on women's sports.
So listen, here's the top 10, all right?
You could put
Phelps was 1, Serena Williams was 2, 23-time major champion. Listen,
If
okay.
Diana
Hold on. I have
Taurasi is
something
in the
to-
top
hold on.
10.
I have something to say about that. If you're going athletic ability, Serena Williams said it herself. If she played like 115th ranked man, she'd get dusted. She said it herself. So you can't go just off of accolades.
Right.
You can't go just off of athletic
I know,
ability. It
I
has
know.
to be a mix. Continue.
Leo Messi is 3. I think Messi should be 2, but that's just me. LeBron is 4. Tom Brady's 5.
Messi could be 1.
He could be. I think he could.
LeBron could be 1 too.
Roger Federer
fair,
is
fair.
6. Simone Biles is 7.
She should be higher.
I think
that's a good place.
Simone should be top 5.
top, possibly. Tiger
Yeah,
Woods
there's
is
big names
8.
up there though.
Tiger Woods is 8. I have a problem with that. But Usain Bolt is 9. Kobe Bryant is 10.
What?
So then you have
Kobe Bryant is 10?
Yeah.
Ronaldo 13. Katie Ledecky's 15. Shaq was 17. Mahomes 18.
Shit.
Aaron Donald is 20. Tarazi's 21.
Yeah. Let's just read some of the names that they have her higher than.
Sidney Crosby's 22. He's not 32. I misspoke.
Okay.
I think that's I thought he was 32. Okay, she's higher than Sid. Higher than Kevin Garnett, Albert Pujols, Floyd Mayweather, Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, Nikola Jokic.
Peyton Manning.
Nikola Jokic, Michael Schumacher for racing, Mike Trout, Who? Let's
Chris, let me tell you something.
Clayton Kershaw. I think Jeter should have been higher than both
No,
of them.
please
but
let me
that's
tell
just
you
me.
something.
I think Marta being 32 is way too low for her. She is arguably the best women's soccer player of all time. She still might play in the World Cup in 2027. She is Brazil's best soccer player ever. Female soccer player ever. I think she should be higher.
Let me
But
tell you
that's just
something. I love watching the WNBA. I've actually watched a lot this year as well because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all that.
Do you see how hard she got guarded in the All-Star game? My God.
Wait, that's Kelsey Plum for you. Anyways, if Diana Taurasi is number 21, then Tristan Thompson should be number 20. And DeMarcus Cousins should be number
my.
5.
Yeah. So if they're going off of
Maya
accolades,
Moore.
I'm pretty sure Maya Moore is higher than Giannis.
Ichiro is 37th.
First ballot Hall of Famer, unanimous.
Barry Bonds 38. Kevin Durant 39. Verlander 40.
She's higher than
Dirk
Maya
Nowitzki.
Moore.
How is
Maya
Kobe-
Moore? Maya Moore is higher than Kevin Durant.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is 42. A-Rod is 43.
This is a tainted list.
Yeah, it
Kayla Schifrin is 44. She could be higher than that.
There needs to be a separate section for in no particular order for this.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Anyway, the whole list, every list is subject to interpretation, and I just interpreted it that I haven't even said Ovechkin's name yet. Anyway, sour grapes from the hockey fan, but let's be fair. Okay, let's talk about the Olympics now, fellas. A lot of these athletes we've been talking about are Olympians and got their fame from being Olympians. The Michael Phelps is all of them, really all of them.
Simone
okay.
Biles.
Yeah, and Simone will be back this year, looking to get back into it. Win some more golds. Katie Ledecky will be there. Really, all of these athletes that are not retired, that are Summer Olympians will be there, and
Yeah.
that's fine. So what I thought was, why don't we all highlight one sport one event that we are in particular excited to watch, or we're excited to learn more about. And I've been talking a lot, so I'll go last. My camera noticed some activity in the nursery that has potential for a Sabrina situation.
Little meltdown.
I doubt it. But anyhow, Anthony and Nick, you guys will go first. Nick, you want to start us off?
Why not?
All right, Nick, talk about the sport that you're most excited to watch this Olympics.
Archery. Archery is the one I chose. I love archery. I wish I got into it. I did it at Kiwi. That was always like the one I would go to in my free time because that's mad fun.
A lot of people go to that one. It is fun.
It is, but it's mad challenging too. Like
Very difficult.
I have no idea how they do it so well, but yeah. So I did some research. I found out that last Olympics winner will not be here. She got upset in the third round of their home country's thing.
Qualifier?
Yes, her name is like An San from South Korea.
Is that right?
Yeah, she won last Olympics, and she is not even gonna be here this year.
So I love when that happens. No offense to her, obviously. She's already been a winner. But I like when somebody knows it as the peon that I am, watching all these people saying, I can hit that target.
No,
That's
we
me.
wouldn't even come close. Neither of us.
I-
Not three of us.
I'm actually not that person. You know that. I'm always like, no, these people are
Yeah.
ridiculously talented in their field.
Yeah, I think archery is like mad underrated. Like you have to have so much skill. Bro.
Archery's cool.
Like,
I was decent at it because we did it in high school gym class. So we did that before. I was pretty good at it.
Like Nick said, at Kiwi they have it.
Yeah.
And Ron, the archer guy, he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
He's a gym teacher in New York. But anyway, he's been doing it forever there. And it's hard. And it's not even far away, but he'll do like trick shots and stuff. It's a good time.
I would argue it's a lot equipment based, but like
The equipment
like,
you
yeah.
use.
at least in Kiwi terms, like
Right. It's not
you know.
top of the line equipment,
Yeah.
but if you gave me top of line equipment,
Yeah,
the arrows
yeah.
go in the same place.
I want to not even get the arrow on the thing
I can't even rack
or
the
pull
bow.
the string back, bro. You have to be mad strong for
Make
that.
sure you twist your elbow in.
Yeah,
the
but
right
the
way so
strength
not-
that you
Yeah.
need to do it at forget about Olympic level, but even at
And
a
just, like-
recreational
and they're
holding
level.
it
just and
still.
they're cool with it too. They're
Yeah.
so smooth with it too. I was
Yeah.
telling Nick when you were going to get the SD card, like they'll just pull back and then they just shoot and they let it go and then this hand just like usually just like the bow will go forward,
Yeah, yeah.
like tilt forward and they just don't move their hands. They're just smooth with it.
They're
Just
so locked
incredible.
in. Anyways, the favorite for this year is USA, Casey Caulfield, and she's the favorite to win this year. She won something. She was number 1 seed when she was 19 last Olympics, but she didn't win. But yeah, and also I found out this was actually really cool how they decide the seeding. There's 64 men and women, like combined, like 32 men, 32 women, and they have all of them shoot 72 arrows. 72, and they count up the score, and whoever has the best score is the 1 seed, whoever has the worst score is 64 seed. And that's how they seed it.
That's cool.
Wow.
And-
And, so it's like kind of a March Madness of
Yeah.
archery in the
Yeah,
Olympics.
and that's how they decide, like,
An arch madness.
because they
if you would.
do, there's like,
March Madness. Give me something for that.
there's like four
doing?
events. There's like teams, individual, mixed, and something else. I forget the other one. But that's how they decide like the seedings for that too. Like if your teammates, like 1 in 64 or like 1 in 32 are teammates or something like that.
Wow.
That's
It's
cool.
not- yeah.
That is cool.
See, now I'm excited to watch it.
I'm excited to watch archery.
I love all the events that aren't on the primetime coverage.
Yeah.
So, like, the swimming will be on prime time. The gymnastics will be on prime time.
It's like in the winter when everything but figure skating is on, and like that's all my wife watches.
Right.
Is
It's
figure
all
skating.
figure skating.
yeah, literally.
I don't need Johnny Ware on the thing the whole
we
night.
love Johnny Weir.
Johnny Ware's fine, okay? They're fine. The two of them are fine. What's the girl? Who's the girl?
But we want to watch.
Tara-
We want to watch the biathlon.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have a quick honorable
Tara
mention.
Lipinski?
I think so.
Chris,
Is that
yeah.
it?
I have a quick honorable mention, Chris. Me and Anthony were talking about it. It's a winter sport though, so I couldn't pick it, but it's the biathlon. Do you know which one that is?
Tara Lipinski. So the biathlon.
Yes. Do you know which one that is? It's the one where they ski for 12 miles, and in the middle of skiing for 12 miles,
They
they
shoot.
shoot a sniper.
Oh, yes!
That is the coolest
cool.
thing to me.
What I love about that is right because when they miss, they have to do like the penalty lap.
Yeah. It's
That is so
insane.
amazing.
And they like it's
They
known.
have to slow their breath because they're like skiing for their
yeah,
life.
no, it's literally known as one of the most like winding, like dangerous sports in terms of endurance. Like, cause you are just cooked at. Like, have you seen the ending of those races? They just fall over the
Falling
finish
over.
line. Yeah,
just
yeah,
all out, and then you just got to go like that and not be like this.
yeah.
It's wild.
I think
to
that's the
be an
coolest
Olympic
Olympic
athlete,
sport.
it doesn't matter what you're doing. It just goes to show that you're like that much better than all the other people in the whole world
Yeah.
at it. It's just amazing.
Yep.
It's just amazing to watch people do it at their best.
And the thing is, all of these people are like younger than us. Most of them are younger
Yeah,
than us, which is
honestly.
nuts.
and then the guys and girls that do poorly, it's like but you're doing poorly at the Olympics. You make you look bad, but you're still better than all the other people who aren't there,
Easily.
which is the rest of the entire 7-8 billion people in the world. Like it's just so fascinating to think about. So even something like archery that's not heavily publicized in
Yeah.
this country, it's like wild. I
agree.
love it. Anthony, talk about yours, something that we've all done.
All right, so let me paint the picture for you, gentlemen.
Paint it. Nick's gonna take his leave.
Appreciate
It's his
that,
pee
Nicky.
break song.
So this is going to be my. This was in the first Olympics, okay? So I want everybody out there, if you're young boys like us, close your eyes, okay?
I'll be along with you. I'm closing.
A young Anthony, or A Nasty as he's known on this show, watched a lot of ESPN, ESPN2 specifically. A lot of the times on Saturday mornings, and if you were our age, you knew that ESPN2 on Saturday mornings was just wacky sports. In the early, right before we'll say late 2000s, 6, 7, 8, 9, that era, a young Anthony fell in love with a Polish man named Mariusz Pudzianowski. This man, he is I believe a 5-time winner of the World's Strongest Man competition. I was smitten. Not by him, by the feats. You're ruining my. I was smitten, not by him, but by the feats of superhuman strength.
Feats strength.
Stones were lifted, kegs were tossed. It was a mismatch of men defying gravity. A true battle.
In its most primal form.
In its most primal form.
Right.
You're battling heavy things.
Right.
So-
Dead weight.
I'm excited for weightlifting this year, baby. Now, why am I excited? Nick, you missed that, but it was okay.
You can watch it back.
I'm excited.
He's in love with the man from Poland.
A big Polish man named Mariusz.
Of course you are.
This year, enter USA Weightlifting. Weightlifting is something we've all done. I'm assuming a lot of our listeners have done this too. Viewers have done this too. USA's team is comprised of Jordan De La Cruz. She is the 49 kilogram, representative. Wes Kitts, 102 kilograms. 20-year-old Hampton Morris.
A lot of pounds,
Yeah.
man.
20-year-old Hampton Morris, 61 kilograms.
Is this deadlift?
20. Oh, no. These are how much they weigh. This is their weight class.
Oh.
20-year-old Hampton Morris, 21-year-old Olivia Reeves, and Mary Thiessen Lappin. These are the United States lifters, 3 women, 2 men. And 4 out of the 5 are ranked in the top 5 of their weight classes. So this sincerely is a year where there could be America medaling, not even just like winning the gold, like medaling is huge for us. USA has 47 medals in Olympic history. As I said, this goes all the way back to the first Olympics in Greece. Obviously, they were not there, but this is throughout the entire history. The last medalists was Kate Nye and Sarah Robles. They earned a silver and a bronze in Tokyo in 2020. And this is big too because Hampton Morris, the 20-year-old out of Georgia, he is considered one of the strongest pound-for-pound men in the world, which hopefully we'll see that soon. He has a chance to medal. He has a chance to win gold. A U.S. man has not medaled at the Olympics in weightlifting since L.A. 1984,
Wow.
That's
Before
crazy.
our time.
before my mother was born.
Wow.
Before my father was born. No, not my mother. Jesus, 84. My mom was born at 79.
I was like,
Yeah, I was like, how's your
was
mom
some
so
weird
young?
84.
I'm thinking of the 70s. My hair is gone wonky. USA weightlifting.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
if you want to check the hat out.
I was gonna say that's a very nice shirt you have on.
Oh, we'll get to that. These hats are available. DM us on Instagram. Not this one. This is mine. We'll post pictures of the ones we have available for purchase. We don't have a website or anything, so just DM us. We'll get to this shirt later on. That'll be the last thing we do.
Ah. All right. Archery, weightlifting, and now water polo. I started watching water polo at the Olympics. I remember I was at Grammy's house one day. It might have been the 2012 games. I think that sounds about
Like
right.
Beijing.
Was that? I
think
thought
so.
08 was Beijing.
Tokyo.
No, Tokyo was 2020.
Whatever it was. The 2012 games, I would have been 17. And I remember that was at like the pinnacle of my, like when I wanted to really get into broadcasting.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was doing some kind of summer reading for high school. And I was done. And then I turned the TV on. And water polo was on. I think it was the Olympics. It was around this time of year. Early August, whatever. And who was broadcasting it but Doc Emmerich?
What?
I was like,
That's insane.
it's like, what?
They got this guy on water polo duty?
He's doing water polo? Hit the pipe with the shot. Like, I swear to God, he was calling the water polo match. And so I was like, well, I'm going to watch this. It's Doc Emmerich. And it was legit. He knew all their names. He knew the positions. He knew everything about them. And he's just calling the match. It was like, I don't even know if it was USA. It was just obscure, not obscure, but it was just some game that was on. And he was calling it. And I was like, This is wild. Sometimes they don't even have announcers on the water polo, but this was Doc
It's
Emmerich.
just quiet, splishy splashies.
Yeah, it was just splashing in the pool. It was Doc. So that got me into it. And so I've always had an interest in water polo. So a few things about it.
It's like putting Joe Buck on cricket.
Yeah, it's like
It's Michael Kay doing cricket.
it's amazing.
There it goes. See ya over the wicket.
Through the wicket. Amazing. So anyway, water polo is very similar to a lot of sports while being its own sport. It's kind of similar to soccer in that you have a similar sized ball and similar positions. You have kind of inside guys, more of attack guys than you have your outside shooters, kind of where it's like hockey where you have defensemen that also shoot and they're got heavy shots. Then the middle guys are the big strong guys that have to battle to make room. And so there's 4 8-minute quarters, so 32 minutes of game time. It usually takes about an hour to play a match. And there's a shot clock similar to basketball. So we've seen it's similar to hockey, similar to soccer, similar to basketball. So there's a 30-second shot clock per possession. If a goalie stops a shot and the attacking team gets it back, it resets like if you hit the rim in basketball and get an offensive board. This is all, of course, so different than all those sports because you're swimming in the water the entire time.
Underwater, for the most part.
No.
Wait, which sport is that? There's one where there's like underwater.
Oh, that's not an Olympic sport. That's just like menaces, like where you're like it's like like pretty much diving for something, and you have to like make sure the other guy doesn't.
Nah.
get it.
I've seen a sport where they throw a ball underwater, like straight up.
No, this
No,
is
this is above.
Oh.
this has a net.
Yeah.
There's a
I know
net.
which one it is. I know which one.
The ball doesn't really move underwater as a ball
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
really,
yeah.
unless it was like metal. But no, it's kind of like a volleyball sort of ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, you will end up underwater during the game.
Yeah.
The pool isn't super deep, but you're treading the whole game. Like you're treading water the whole
It's
time.
insane.
The leg strength of these athletes is unreal. So I saw a video today when I was doing this bit, and they use the egg beater kick, which is kind of like it's like called a rotary kick if you want to do the Red Cross definition. But it's kind of like the breaststroke kick where you like kick out, but you use one leg then one leg, like an old egg beater that one's that one like this. And it's unbelievable. They train 10 to 12 times a week around the Olympics, including gym and pool. And the team to beat, shout out to Jack Walker, my dad. He is Hungarian, part Hungarian. I think that's the biggest part of his ancestry. Hungary is the team to beat every Olympics, men's and women's.
I'm so excited for this Olympics.
They have 16 total medals in the Olympics. Okay. I don't think that's right. That is right. It just didn't sound right. They have 16 total medals. Their 9 gold medals in the Olympics are more than any other team's total medals, except for the 9 total by the United States. They have 9 total. Hungary has 9 gold. And 7 silver and bronze combined. They are a favorite yet again. The Team USA women's team actually split 2 matches with them during qualifiers. So that's pretty promising for Team USA. Obviously, we're all rooting for Team USA. I root for Team Italy. Italy is the 3rd best team. Well, I guess the second best team now, because the second best is Yugoslavia, which is not an entity at this time. It's the former Yugoslavia, which still has the second most medals, even though they are not a nation anymore. But yeah, so water polo, not to be outdone by archery or weightlifting. I think all 3 of those are 3 events that people aren't necessarily super like, oh, I'm going to watch this, but maybe we've helped them to decide maybe I'll watch a match, see if I could get into it, because I know I'm going to watch some water polo,
Yeah.
some weightlifting, and some archery.
I was talking about. I looked it up. Underwater rugby. It's literally like water polo but underwater, and the ball is filled with salt water, so you can actually like move it underwater.
That's pretty cool.
Is this an Olympics?
No.
That is unbelievable.
That's like Quidditch. No, it's pretty cool.
That would be hard to watch televised. Like.
Yeah, so guys, we want to guide you in the right direction, obviously, when it comes to these sports. We also want to guide you in the right direction when it comes to apparel.
Here comes an ad.
Now, you see the shirt I'm wearing here? It's for my dastardly bad Carolina Panthers. Or Carolina football team.
I just want to let you know that we've said dastardly twice today.
It's for my Carolina football team. If you look at the shirt and you say, wow, Ant, that's a sick shirt. Where can I get it? Nikki, why don't you tell them where you can get it?
Well, me personally, I would go to deadthreads.something.
Deadthreads.shop.
.shop. It's always .shop.
Thank you.
Deadthreads.shop. And I would find I don't think I'd find a Carolina shirt. I think I'd go find a Tampa Bay Lightning shirt.
Well, no, it's not Lightning. It's just Tampa Bay hockey.
I'd find a Tampa Bay shirt.
Thank you. And now, guys, follow them on Instagram. They add new styles.
I wasn't done. I would add it to my cart. And then
see, I'm gonna tee that up for Chris over here.
Oh, okay.
So
I
they
don't
add
need to be on this.
they add new styles. They add new styles. What seems like every week. So if you don't see your team now, give it a couple weeks. You might see them. I don't have a Minnesota hockey one yet. So Dead Threads, I'm speaking to you directly. We need that. It would be sick. Pine trees, a bear, hook a brother up.
There needs to be a skeleton on it.
Of course, riding the bear or something.
Of course, yeah.
But nonetheless, sometimes things can get a little expensive, especially when you just had a second child. So if you're looking to save a little money, Chris, what are you going to do?
You type in code STAYFULL at checkout, and this podcast will give you a discount, a 10%er.
I believe it's 10%.
I believe it's 10%.
Listen, I talked about this with my dad on a hike one day. 10% is not enough to move the needle some days, but other days it is. Okay? But it's 10%. Do it.
And
10% of nothing is better than 100% of nothing.
And what the boys are going to do here as well, I'm just thinking of this on the spot. If you guys get a shirt through Dead Threads, send us your receipt on Instagram. We'll give you 10% off of one of our Stay Full hats.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Now you got 20%. 2 items. It's not how it works.
No.
But it's fine.
Today it is.
Today it is.
Onto the grinders.
Onto the grinders.
Deadthreads.shop / whatever team you want. Deadthreads.shop. Use code STAYFULL at checkout. Thank you.
I think that I should do the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, we're drum roll.
There's a new Hall of Famer. Okay, we'll wait 10 minutes for that to die down. The Hall of Famer is Melissa Walker, my wife, and the mother of my 2 awesome kids. She's been entered into the Hall of Fame for giving birth not once but twice. And the total push time for these 2 kids was 22 minutes. Combined. That's like record stuff right there.
That's incredible.
Not to mention, she's about as good as it gets. She's as good a mom as there is. Our mom is a great mom, is as good a mom as there is. But she's had a lot more experience than my wife has. And she is, and Melissa this week, is our Grammys Grinder Hall of Fame inductee.
Maybe she could go into Olympic birth giving.
That's weird.
She would. She would. 7 minutes for Harden. 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
I'd also like to add, yes, she is the mother of my niece and nephew. It's so cool to say nephew now. It's awesome, dude. Our niece and nephew, his by
There it
blood,
is.
mine by choice. I win. Haha.
Do you?
Haha. But no, thank you for always putting up with our nonsense and stealing your Wednesdays from you.
Yeah, thanks for giving
for-
us that room.
For a
like,
very long time until we
year.
physically could not have that room anymore. So a friend of the show, she's been a guest before. We'll get her on again if she ever wants to be on.
She probably won't, but that's okay.
That's okay.
She doesn't have to.
But thank you,
she's got more.
She was
to-
on like 3 weeks ago.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. are you talking
Yeah,
They don't know about
in the
that.
archives.
Oh yeah,
she was
in the paywall version. Right.
if that was a song, it would be featuring Melissa.
Featuring Melissa and Sabrina, and indirectly Harden.
Yeah,
He was still baking. But yeah, shout out to Melissa. You did it again. A week postpartum, and she's just trucking along, and she's as good a mom as I've ever seen. I say it every day to people. She taught me how to be a parent. She taught me how to be a parent. Plain and simple. It's pretty fun to watch her be a parent. Yeah. All right, that's done. Now let's do a real grinder. No, I'm just kidding. Let's do our sports and spaghetti Grammys grinders non-Hall of Famers.
Nick, you can start it. No, you started the Olympics. I'll start it.
Go ahead, Am.
All right. So mine, another Olympic athlete. We're going to keep it in the realm. We spoke about Michael Phelps. We know his issues with the Mary Jane. This next athlete also had some issues with the marijuana. My Grammys grinder this week is Olympic runner from Louisiana State University, Sha'Carri Richardson.
There you go.
She was suspended in 2020, a month before the Olympics, for testing positive for marijuana. Finally, the stars aligned. She is running the 100-meter dash for Team USA. There could have been a lot that she did with this. She could have said, I don't want to be in the Olympics. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But instead, she proved why the U.S. is going to win again, baby. Sha'Carri Richardson.
Listen, man, she's going to smoke everyone away.
Dude, she's so good. She's
I got
so
that.
good.
I got that.
That was a good one.
I got that.
High expectations, if you would.
Oh,
Nice.
indeed.
Thank you. Sha'Carri Richardson, Grammys Grind of the Week.
Very good. Nick?
Honestly, you could call him a grinder. You could also not call him a grinder. But today, this week, he's my grinder. LeBron James. It is hard to be a grinder on a team full of the best players in the world. Well, he has been grinding, and he has led USA to 2 preseason, is it, or exhibition wins in the basketball.
Yeah, they almost lost yesterday.
They almost
Australia, right?
They almost had 3 losses now to South Sudan, Germany, and Australia. And but LeBron came in clutch in 2 of those games, and as Germany head coach said, someone named LeBron James ruined our game because he clutched up in the final minutes.
Not the worst thing a German has said. Thank you.
All right, then. Niggly's not looking too bad right now, Anthony. Oh, boy. Oh, I could have said something. No. Anyway, my Grammys grind of the week is Mark Cavendish. My dad will hopefully watch or listen to this. I'll tell him you need to listen to the last 5 minutes to listen to my grinder. If you will, for 1 second. It was 2007. I was 12. It was the summer of 2007. I would watch the Tour de France with my dad. You know this.
I was also
As
there.
Nikki was there as well. We watched it every morning or every evening, whatever it was. We'd go to Bike Express and get those fun scratch tickets. Remember those? You could win the free water bottle.
Chris, that's why I watched. Because they would, remember they would put it in the middle of the thing. Like on the commercials, they'd have that wheel you spin and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
And
what I
then they
watched.
would tell you what you could win.
Yeah.
And if you have a certain thing, like you win that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
win like a bottle. I
That's
think
mad
you
fun.
could have won a bike. You could have won a trip
Well,
to
yeah.
We won a bottle.
Yes.
And we went and we got the bottle once. It
Yes.
was like a Propel bottle or something like
yeah,
that. I felt like it was like the coolest
It was.
thing ever. There was a time I wanted to do cycling.
Yeah.
Before Lance Armstrong became the laughing stock of cycling. But anyway, Mark Cavendish started in 2007. His first race was a time trial. His last race was a time trial. And in between those 2 races, he recorded a record 35 stage wins. This year during stage 5, earlier in July, he won his 35th stage, which puts him alone as the man or the athlete with the most stage wins in Tour de France history. That is pretty amazing. A long career, a 17-year career. This guy's been in the Tour since we started watching,
Yeah.
really. He's always been a name. He's been a name. and all these guys come and go, and he's always been there, and he's retiring. This was his last tour. He said he feels complete now that he got that record. It's something that he was really into. So some guys aren't about winning it all. Some guys are about the more personal accolades, like stage win records or King of the Mountains or Young Rider record or whatever it might be. And each team has their own roles on it. It's not just everybody trying to win. But, yeah. What was cool during the finish in Nice was his last kilometer of the race was the entire crowd, because everybody's there. It's the end of the tour. The whole crowd was just roaring for him. He was waving to the fans. It was just kind of soaking it in. It was really cool for him to have that moment at the end of his career. Mark Cavendish, there you go. Grammy's Grinder of the Week.
Good one.
It was beautiful.
Follow us on Instagram at Sports and Spaghetti Pod and on TikTok at Sports and Spag Pod. Subscribe. Don't just like Sabrina says. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next video. To YouTube, Sports and Spaghetti Podcast. Yeah, Anthony.
All right. I'm Ant. That's Nikki. That's Chris. Those are our garden vegetables. As always, take care of your loved ones. Grow a cuke or two. And as always, stay full.